I'm joined by MaxPreps football editor Zack Poff. Zack, how you doing, man?
Doing great, man. As we say here, high school football, yeah, it goes during the fall season, but it's 365 days a year for sure when you include recruiting and 7-on-7 and all that fun stuff, man. So the grind never stops, baby.
100%, dog. So, let's start with the 2020 dudes.
Yeah.
I know the top 247 just dropped yesterday. We're recording this on a Thursday or on a Wednesday, excuse me. And well, we got a new number one for
hmm
247 in Bryce Young, and that's a guy that you're very familiar with out in California at Mater Day.
Yeah. Hey, let's be real. First of all, I got a lot of flack because I don't know, it must have been October sometime, but I went out and said that I believe that Bryce Young is a better high school quarterback than Kyler Murray. And Kyler Murray was the number one high school quarterback I've ever seen since working at MaxPreps. I've been here for 6 years. What he did at high school, and I know you're familiar with Kyler Murray too, what he did at Oklahoma, when he was there for his 2 years, especially his last year there when he was a starter, won the Heisman. But that's how strong I feel about Bryce Young, man. And you look at the tape, and you look what he did against the competition he played, and Mater Day was a top 2 or 3 team the last 2 years, from the start to the finish. And Bryce Young, he does it with his feet, but he does it with his arms. And I strongly believe he's going to be the starting quarterback at Alabama right from the start as a true freshman.
No, man, you're not the only person to say the Kyler Murray comp and or better, but I get it because I can see it across the middle. I can see it on the intermediate passing. I can see it in anticipating guys because what we're doing is projecting the guys forward based on what they've done now. And as
Yeah,
a pure quarterback, you could see it. You could also see that Bryce Young had committed to just playing football for the past 4 or 5
yeah,
years, and
yeah,
Kyler Murray
definitely.
had been playing two sports. And I think that part of it gets lost. Of course, he's going to be a little bit further ahead, if not much farther ahead, because he's just been playing football that much longer. That said, I think Kyler throws the ball better down the field. But then again, Kyler has a baseball arm. I don't know that Bryce Young has a baseball arm.
Yeah, I mean, and even too, you include the speed. Kyler Murray's,
Right.
one of the fastest guys probably in the NFL too. I just think when it comes to tools and being able to play the quarterback position, and you mentioned it, man, Kyler was playing baseball half of the year, when Bryce is playing it 365 days a year and focused on it. You look at all the tools, and Bryce Young really checks them all off. I think he's going to be even, in the Heisman running as a true freshman next year, and that says a lot for what he's going to have at Alabama. But there's some guys that just have that it factor, and Bryce Young has it, and Kyler Murray had it too for sure.
I mean, he was extremely charismatic as well. I mean, Kyler had a quiet confidence of I'm just gonna destroy you. I don't need to really talk about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I'm just here to do that. Bryce
And
is
I mean, how crazy is it? The guy was a top 10 pick in Major League Baseball and NFL. I
well,
mean, not many guys can do that. You got Bo Jackson and you got Kyler Murray.
right. I mean, and that also speaks to him as an athlete, right? When we're talking about being a quarterback, and I love Kyler. I've always loved Kyler. I think that Kyler still has a Heisman Trophy, and until Bryce Young gets a Heisman Trophy, then the score is settled. But I understand your opinion, and I understand why you leveled it out there. And I don't think it's far fetched at all. I think if the things come together in the way that they can at Alabama, yeah, I would have had my reservations had he stuck at USC because I just don't think he's got as much of an opportunity to succeed there. Though that was weird to watch play out, man, because I thought after picking USC over Oklahoma, it was done. Even as brought in like another coordinator, and you lost Cliff Kingsbury to Arizona, and then they played piss poor football, and I
Yeah.
was like, he's still sticking. And then finally, Steve Sarkisian and Nick Saban put the full court press on him, and he's going to Alabama. But to hear that dude talk is also to understand what you want your quarterback to sound like. You know what I mean? He's low key, he's level headed, but he's charismatic. He's strong in his confidence. I genuinely enjoy watching the guy play football, and I really enjoy hearing him give an interview as a guy that listens to a lot of high school kids give interviews.
Man, he on top of that, he obviously he's one of the best high school football players I've ever covered since being at Max Preps. But he's just an even better dude. Like he's one of the best kids I've ever met. He's super humble. He doesn't turn down an interview with anybody, and he never talks about himself. He always talks about the team, puts his team first. One of the best things I've seen at a modern day game was at halftime. Bryce Young is the first guy before they get to go to the locker room. and he daps up every single teammate that walks by him. He's a born leader. And I think that's the thing that's going to just put him over the top at Alabama is he's going to outwork everyone. And he's a great dude. He's a great leader. He's got, great abilities, but, just the person he is what kind of sets him apart from a lot of other people.
100%. And he had a tremendous group of dudes to help him sharpen up. I mean,
yeah.
Darian Green-Warren ends up transferring away, but that was my favorite cornerback.
I love DG, man. He's a dog, man. I love that kid's game. He's going to be something special at Michigan for sure.
Natural ball hawk, right? Just knows where the ball's going to be. And then Elias Ricks, who's probably the best technical defensive back in this entire crop. I mean,
no doubt.
It's just elite size, dude. Like,
man, can you imagine him and Derek Stingley together? Oh my God.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I'm so here for it, right? Because Stingley's the best true freshman corner I've ever seen, and it was
easy,
right? And it's we're only scratching the surface. No, I'm excited. And then to add to that, Brew McCoy was his wide receiver last year. So
I'm telling you, man. You look at talent-wise, what Mater Dei had the last 2 years.
Jeremiah Cradell, I forgot about him, and he's at Oklahoma.
Jeremiah Cradell, then you had Sean Dollars at running back. They were straight loaded. Big Mike Martinez at tight end, and that offensive line was just straight nasty, led by Miles Morale. Like they were filthy, dude. Yeah,
and Miles is at Washington now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's pivot to their nemesis, right? I believe. Correct me because you're the MaxPreps dude. That Mater Dei finished number 1 and St. John Bosco finished number 2.
It was opposite.
Okay.
Bosco ended up finishing number 1 this year because they played twice. Mater Dei got him in the regular season, but then Bosco got him when it mattered most, and that led them to finish number 1. DJ Uiagalelei, man, what a baller.
Dude, 6'4", 250.
Yeah.
And I mean, like 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah.
All right, so I want you to unpack this dude, but when I watch him play, I see Jameis Winston. I don't see Josh Allen. I mean, I guess you could see a little bit of that, but I see a dude that can throw it from every angle, who was going to find somebody, and who, despite being, as big as Drew Bledsoe at 17, my God, can just move around. And I just was not expecting to see that from him. I expected to see a statue who was just going to be pinpoint accurate.
He's insane. He's a grown man. Even Trevor Lawrence said it, dude. He's like, hey, man, this dude, he's 6'5", 250. I've never seen any high school player ever built like this. He straight up said he's had to work in the Clemson, working out crazy with, eating on the right diet and getting everything for the last 2 years just to get close to what DJ is. And that's all that before he's had, college facilities and everything around him, too. I mean, he was built to play sports for sure. And, he's playing quarterback, and he has all the tools for sure. Like his stock, his ceiling's probably higher than any other player in the class of 2020. Because, I mean, he's your prototypical quarterback. He's got the size, he's got the speed, he's got the arm strength. And if you give him time to throw, he's one of the best playmakers. And this year, what he really developed this year compared to last year, when the pocket was congested as he was a junior, you saw him kind of make mistakes. He learned from that, and this year he worked tremendously on escaping pressure, keeping plays alive, and he didn't panic as much when there was a lot of congestion in the pocket. And that showed in, when they played Mater Dei and they played De La Salle to win the section and state championship. He had 9 touchdowns, no turnovers, threw for almost 1,000 yards in 2 of the biggest games of the year. So he put on in the biggest stage. So
my goodness. Okay, so who do you think his comp is?
I tell you what, man, I see a little mixture of Big Ben and Cam Newton.
Okay.
But that's what I got, because those are just big boys that can make plays. I think he's got the strength that Cam has, and I think he's got his pocket presence that Big Ben has. So I think you mix those two guys, you get DJ Uiagalelei.
Goodness me.